know when it's time to finally say goodbye? There's no good answer that really works for that, except to say that life is a puzzle. Just a puzzle.
That voice, forever recognizable. Today, we're honoring the life of former 9 News anchor and investigative reporter Ward Lucas. He passed away on Sunday at the age of 75.
That's right. And we got Kim Christiansen to join us now to talk about Ward and his legacy. Kim, first and foremost, I'm so sorry. I know you worked with him for years.
I did, but so many of us did. And he was here 32 years. So many of us had the privilege of knowing Ward and really learning from Ward, I would say, because bless his soul, he worked on the weekends and he liked working the weekends because then he could do his investigative work during the week. So on the weekends, you inherit people like me who had no idea what I was doing. And he just was so wonderful to learn from. But some of these stories we're looking at, there are so many stories. When he caught Governor Romer sleeping in the car, cracks me up. He dug hard on every story. He was a digger. He was the guy that you gave him one thing, he went after. It was before the days of social media, so you couldn't be searching and researching. He was on the phone. He was knocking on doors. He had the ability to just dig on a story forever, and he became consumed by it, which you would hope that every reporter could do, but he had that gift.
One of my favorite things that I've heard about him that you've told me actually is like, what a rebel he was. Like, if he believed in something, he was going to go after that story, right?
We've done, our digital team has done a great job online. I urge you to look online at some of his things. If you look back at the story he talked about covering Ted Bundy, because he came here from Seattle, and that's where Ted Bundy was. And he tells the story of coming here and knowing, making the connection that things were happening in Aspen. And at the time, he was taking flying lessons. And he wanted to go to Aspen because Ted Bundy had been arrested. And the news director said, no. And he talked his instructor into taking him and his photographer. He went up there.
That's amazing.
And he tells this great story because, and you know the reason why? It wasn't just him saying, I want to get in on a great story. He truly, he talked about, he just knew this man was going to kill other vulnerable women because he was so smart as a serial killer. And he's in that Netflix special, but that little clip about the story about the dog, we're going to share at 4 o'clock. I think I'm going to cry talking about it. And the story of him talking about his dad's Alzheimer's. I think Ward left us so many love letters in so many ways through his work. And he was such a gifted writer. And I would urge people to go back and look up some of these stories. For a man that was deeply private, he shared some of the most intimate, personal stories with an ability to write like no one else.
Wow. So not only have I heard that he was a brilliant writer, obviously a great investigative reporter and weekend anchor, but I heard that he had almost like a dry wit. He was really Tell me about his sense of humor.
We were just discussing that in the newsroom. He was quirky. I mean, he loved quirky stuff and he loved weird stuff. And back in the day, at the end of the newscast, we called it the kicker or the round robin. You had to find the producers. If they didn't find the weirdest story of the day, Ward did. And he spent quality time rewriting it and would deliver it with, I mean, he could either deliver it so dry or so satirical.
Right.
He had this ability to just kill the room. I mean, everybody just passed out laughing.
Wow, what a legend.
Plus, he played the guitar. I mean, Ann Herbst was talking about he would come in on the weekends. He did a lot of things. He lived, just a very interesting person.
You will be missed.
And appears to be invaluable. I mean, the legacy that he left people of Denver, the amount of people who have written and who have called in. I mean, this was somebody who was beloved and will be remembered for a long, long, long time.
Thank you
His
so
voice.
much.
His voice will sit with us all and with his family, of course.
Of course. Kim, thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
Thank you
I
for
was
sharing.
glad to. He was
We
a dear.
appreciate you.